Hello, everybody. We are a little bit. We might be. I need to be taken off mute, and we've got a little technical issue as well. Yeah. So listen, guys. Let me know if you can hear me first of all. If you're watching on Amazon, welcome to the show on Amazon. And if you're watching on Facebook or YouTube, then please do say hello. Drop a comment in the comments. Let us know where you're watching from. And if you are watching on Facebook, YouTube, or anywhere else and not Amazon, then please do jump over to the Amazon channel, because this is where we go. I'm going to type it. I can't type it in the box for some reason today. That's a bit frustrating. But if you just type in nickwood.live into your browser, you probably have to log into Amazon as it takes you there. But then you'll see us live on the Amazon website. And so for a few of the things that we've got going on, I'm just going to very quickly test. I just want to make sure that I do have that audio. Yes, got that audio and a lovely bit of feedback as well. That's cool. Yes, it is the Keto Nick cooking show. We've had some technical difficulties today, but hopefully we're going to be okay today. And so, yeah, keto is not no carb, but it is low carb. And the reason that we do that is, if anyone that's known me a while, you will see I am a lot slimmer chef than I was. Yeah, I've actually lost over, well, since the end of January, I've lost over 42 pounds. That's just come up to 20 kilos. But really, from the 10th of May, I really kicked the keto journey off. Took out the major carbs. So I took out the bread, pasta, rice, and potatoes. And if you're like me, you're now thinking, what the hell have I got else to eat? But yeah, I took those big carbs out, and you know, I've never looked back. It has been, the weight has fallen off, and that is why I love this keto journey. So what are we going to do today? Right, one of the things that a lot of people really struggle with when they go carb free or super low carb is that what they really struggle with is bread, the lack of bread. So today I'm going to be making cloud bread, which is really, really simple. I'm going to be using, it's in my carousel here. But I'm not sure if that worked on pressing that button. You can see it in the carousel. I'm going to be using my my trusty KitchenAid. It's a great mixer. It's, you know, yeah, they do cost a couple of £100, but they are so worth it. They are sturdy. You have attachments at the front here. You can have dough, all sorts. It's a brilliant piece of kit. Because how we're going to make that is we're going to make it just with 3 simple ingredients. We're going to have 2 eggs. We're going to have 2 tablespoons of cream cheese. Other cream cheeses are available, obviously. But that, and just then a little bit of baking powder as well. That is all the ingredients we need. Maybe put a bit of salt and pepper in. But that's all we need to make this cloud bread. It's a super, super simple recipe. And then to go with our cloud bread, I thought today we'd actually make some Swedish meatballs. And in the past, when you're making traditional meatballs, you use bread and milk to bind them. But of course, we don't want any breadcrumbs. So I'm actually going to be using almond flour. So almond flour and milk. That will what we'll use to actually bind the mixture for the meatballs. And the meatball mixture is going to be some, if I've got some, I hope I've still got some dill, some dill, mince. We'll do a nice little finely chopped up onion, and we're going to be good to go, pretty much. Mix that in with all the other ingredients. But the first thing we need to do is actually we need to pop the oven on to get started. And the temperature on the oven, I'm doing it at 175 degrees Celsius, which should be around 350 degrees Fahrenheit if you're looking in that old money. What am I talking? If you're using a different measure, I know in Europe we go centigrade. In the States it's Fahrenheit still a lot of places. So yeah, so that's a 350 I think Fahrenheit. Or of course you can just quickly look it up as well. And I'm thinking actually, because I've got it in the carousel, I'm thinking maybe we'll put a touch of garlic in our meatballs as well. So we've got the oven on. What I want to do is take my baking trays out. So we've got some baking trays in the carousel as well, I think. So just going to get a normal little baking tray, pop those over there, and ideally we want to preheat it so that the bread cooks on both sides. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab some baking parchment and look fresh out of the box. So I've never been so prepared. And so we're just going to take a little bit of that. Those things are never the easiest things to tear, are they? But grease-proof baking paper, that will do the trick. So let's pop that over there, and what I want to do is just weight that down. So I shall just use a tiny little bit of butter. So I'm just going to dot a little bit of butter on the tin, and basically that is going to stick our grease-proof paper down. And that just holds it. Right, let me pop that in the oven so it can heat up nicely. And the reason that I was preheating that tray is I just want to get for the cloud bread, I want it to cook through evenly. So I want it hot on the top and hot on the bottom. That's my rationale for that. Anyway, so first of all, we need some ingredients. So that is it: 2 eggs and cream cheese. So I need another bowl. Let me just grab my bowl here. Now, first thing I want to do is separate my eggs. So I want eggs yolks and egg whites. And because I'm going to be whisking up my egg whites into stiff peaks, I'm making sure I've got a very nice clean bowl, making sure the KitchenAid bowl is super clean. Because if you get any oil or stuff in there, then your eggs will not, your whites won't whip up. Quite that simple. So I want to let's do this. Let's go with my knife. And I have washed my hands, by the way. But first things first, let's split our whites from our yolks. So you certainly don't want to get any yolk in there because that is fat. So we do the chefy thing of take it between two of our shells. That's fine. Pop that in there, and then the second one. Now, because I've washed my hands, I could just do this like a really easy way and use my hand as the yolk catcher, and that was even easier than popping it in between the two shells. Didn't look anywhere near as impressive though, did it? That's that's the truth of the matter. Cool. I'm just going to slightly adjust my camera so that you can see. Hopefully that's a little better. So you can see what we're actually see what we're actually doing. So we've got our egg whites all nicely in the bowl, ready to be mixed. Pop that there. And we've got our yolks. We have our yolks in this bowl. So here we go. So we now want 2 tablespoons of cream cheese. Oh. So we've got a nice fresh one. And I'll be honest, I've left this out for a while just so it comes to room temperature a little bit. Just makes it easier to work with. And as a kind of a rule of thumb in any cooking is to actually bring things up to room temperature before you start cooking. Same with meat and anything like that. And as I say, let us know where you're watching from. If you're watching on Amazon, type something in the chat. That would be great. If you're watching on Facebook or YouTube, thank you very much. You can leave a comment, like us, share the love. Let us know what it is that you might want to cook keto-wise, and we can go and do that. But if you're watching on Facebook and YouTube, please do come over to Amazon. Come nickwood.live. Type that in, then you can see what we've got in the carousel as well. In the carousel, we have got our beautiful KitchenAid mixer. That's our big kind of product of the day, I would say that is. So we want 2 tablespoons of cream cheese. That's 1. And that's another. They were quite big tablespoons. So that's okay. Cream cheese, nice. That is enough cream cheese. Quickly wipe my hands. Yeah, it's always good just to keep your hands washed. It just makes sense, basic hygiene. Nothing untoward, nothing crazy. But so we have our egg and our cream cheese in there. I'm just going to grab a little mixer here, and basically you start off, you just mix that all in together. Now, what I would do is while I'm mixing that, what I would do if I wasn't doing the egg whites, if I didn't want to fluff them up and make them into stiff peaks, I could have just used the KitchenAid there, just to mix this together, make sure it's all mixed in, the egg and the cream cheese. But that doesn't take too long. A little bit of elbow grease, a little bit of elbow grease, never hurts anyone. So that mixes really easily. See? There you go. So there you go. So that's the mixture. So basically, it's just a nice little yellowy mixture. There's no egg or cheese. It's all been beautifully mixed in, and that's all nice. That's pretty much good to go. Another couple of little whisks just to be on the safe side. But yeah, that's fine. That is good. So I'll put that to one side. I will get out the baking powder as well. Here we've got some baking powder, and this just a teaspoon of baking powder. Now I would say don't do what I used to do. I used to get confused between, this is a terrible thing to admit, I used to get confused as to when the measures were, was it a tablespoon or a teaspoon? So that's always good. Hey, James and Charlie watching from Yorkshire. Hey, fantastic. Hopefully keto will help me get rid of the dad bod. Oh, James, no, you're looking good, my friend. Yeah, I know you're looking good. So no dad bod there, James. You're fine. So a little bit of baking powder. In fact, I'm going to say like half a teaspoon of baking powder. The recipe is eggs, cream cheese, and baking powder. The recipe I'll put on the website and on the Facebook page. So right, let's go quickly mix that into that little mixture there. And it's lovely, actually, James. I can't reply to you in the chat because I'm watching, but I can't actually type in while I'm on here as well. And hi, Sharon. Lovely to see you. Great. Thank you so much, Sharon. You're obviously watching on Facebook, I believe. But Sharon, please, nickwood.live, type that in, log into Amazon, and we're actually live streaming on Amazon. I'm a Amazon live stream influencer. So that's good. Right. Next thing, we've got our egg whites in our little bowl there. So what I need to do is find my mixer, my mixing tool. So we'll just pop that on there. This is where I always worry because it might actually fall off. There's our little thing there, and just on the side here, let me move it forward a bit. So on this side, we've got our speeds. So just put that on a high mix. Now, this will be a little bit loud, I know, but it will soon mix up. Now, we want it into stiff peaks. And it's coming along really nicely. In fact, see if I can show you. It's always a bit of a gamble. So there we go. So that's mixing away. As you can see, it's got 5 speeds on the KitchenAid. This part at the front that has other attachments you can put on. You could get a great pasta roller on that. As you see, that's coming along really nicely. We'll give it a little bit longer. Don't want to over whip it, but I think that's probably done. So let me have a little look at that and put that back. Hopefully we can still all see. Yeah, there you go. That's the thing. This is how you know it's done, because take it off. So you've got a little bit of egg white stuck on that thing. That's what we call stiff peaks. There we go. And let's pop that somewhere that doesn't get all messy in the kitchen. And as you can see, guys, this is not the biggest kitchen in the world, so it's quite easy to do. Right, so let's add our egg white mixture into our cream cheese. I don't need that mixture anymore. And for this, I'll get my tablespoon back out again, because we don't want to pour it in. Ooh. And now you know why it's called cloud bread. It looks like clouds going into it. And then basically we're just going to fold this in. So actually I'll use my rubber spatula. That's probably the best tool to use for that. And what we want to do is we just want to fold it in. Don't beat it. We're just basically combining that lovely, light and fluffy egg whites into our cream cheese mixture. So we want to do it just nicely, gentle strokes in and out, folding it in until we have a lovely, consistent texture. So a little bit quicker, but show you just how this is looking. Oh wow, this is looking amazing. So here we go. This is our cloud bread mixture. Say 3 ingredients. And who would have thought, looking at that, who would have thought 3 ingredients could get that much volume? That's a lovely thing about using egg whites, egg yolks. Absolutely superb. So that's all now nicely folded in. I don't want to hold that too long because I want to keep it nice and fluffy. So we need to get our, let's get our baking sheet out. Perfect. Kind of stayed still. And now we want to put our little cloud breads, ideally into little circles on our baking sheet. And you can play around with how much mixture you want in each little roll. I mean, you know, they are good. They all come out. They all flatten the touch as some of the air escapes. But there you go. That's going to make 6, just perfect. So I'm just pouring out on that side. And it's kind of run into the other one. Never mind. Okay, so that's our cloud bread mixture. So you can see there, just to give you a better view of it. So there are little cloud breads in our hot pan, and we're going to pop those back in the oven, and they're going to go in there for 10 minutes. Let's have a little look. So that's on 170. That should be okay. That'll be nice. So there we go. That is our cloud bread. So I've got the timer on. That should all be good. So let me just move my camera back up so you can. So you see. So yeah. So that is the KitchenAid, everybody. Absolutely a wonderful piece of equipment. Makes life so easy. Really does help. And that's the same as my, you know, on the other cooking shows, I always talk about my Ninja. Let me move the KitchenAid to one side so you can actually see the Ninja as well. One thing, they are very heavy, but you want to. I always like it when you've got a heavy piece of kit, and the Ninja looks like it's still got a bit of looks like it still had a little bit of chocolate brownie from last week. All nice and clean. And again, that's also in the carousel. That's the mixer. It comes with a mixer. It's got a food processor. Got some other little elements in there. It's got a great grinder actually. So for herbs and spices. So let's just pop that up a little bit more so I can see you. So we've got our. If you're just tuning in, we are making cloud bread. We've got that in the oven already. That was a super simple recipe of egg yolk, egg white, and cream cheese. So we combined and baking powder. So we combined the egg yolk and the cream cheese, gave that a good mix, made that all smooth and creamy, and then we whisked up our egg whites into soft peaks, and then we added those. We just folded them through into the mixture, made that lovely voluminous mixture of the dough. Effectively, we added in the baking powder before we added in the egg whites, and that is now sitting in the oven. That won't take long at all, but it will need to cool down. So what else are we having with our bread substitute? I want to make meatballs. So here we go. How do we make meatballs? Oh, it is so easy indeed. So first of all, you want some mince. So I have my mince here. That is about 250 grams of mince. I've got some salt and pepper. We're going to do an onion. Let's pop an onion in there as well. So my knife. There's my knife. And again, if you're watching on Amazon, check out the carousel. We've got these lovely knives in the carousel, and they are superb, absolutely sharp. And as I say, it's always best to just give them a quick little